And I've seen other guys come into the gym, lift a tremendous amount of weight, and get on a sheesh load of gear, and it just looks worse and worse and worse and worse.
I'm more focused on squeezing the quad, contracting the quad. I get more of a burn and pump. I'm generally a lighter weight because I'm more into the muscle. I'm thinking about the muscle. I'm not thinking about, fuck, just push this up so it doesn't kill me. So
my question to you is rep range.
like that.
See, that's a good thing. You and I have been around this sport our entire lives. And it's funny because, you know, I've been at Gold's Venice now for over 30 years. And I've seen these guys come in there, and I've seen guys just go from nothing to something massive. And it's not because of the amount of drugs, they're not taking much. And it's not about the weights they're lifting. They're not lifting a lot. But it's just genetically their body absorbs, utilizes.
Yeah.
And I've seen other guys come into the gym, lift a tremendous amount of weight, and get on a sheesh load of gear. And it just looks worse and worse and worse and worse until they quit, until they blow out their, you know, and it's like people don't really comprehend that. They think it's pretty much you get your male kit. Hey, got my drugs. I'll eat better. I'll lift, and I'm just going to be Mr. Olympia. And it's just not even close to that.
Yeah. And so, sadly, too, they're the ones, like I said, you get a lot of time. I always laugh every time I see an article pop up. Is Mike O'Hearn natural? I'm like, oh, fuck me dead. I figured if you pricks worried about if Mike O'Hearn's natural as much as you did yourself, you might look decent yourself because you're so worried about what other people are doing. And it's like, look at your photos from when you were young to now, the consistency over all those years. You had the muscle when you were younger. You had the muscle in your 20s, 30s, 40s, and now your 50s. The muscle's there. It hasn't been like you went from in your 20s to looking like Rami in your 40s where, oh, shit, he's got on the gear. They don't realize just the consistency in eating, and you've got genetics, you can see it in your family, that just that consistency over all the years, you can keep that muscle. But these are the guys, like we mentioned, who go to the gym, they pump all the gear in. After a year or two, oh, nothing's happening. I'm not even as big as Mike O'Hearn. I'm taking all this. So if I'm taking all these drugs and I'm not as big as him, he's got to be on a shitload because I can't do it. So he can't do it. Right? He's like, that's their mindset.
Question for you then, because you're in your 40s now, right? You haven't hit 50 yet.
50 in July.
50 in July. So question, and this is something I've been really researching and trying to understand, and there's no research for it because there's nobody that's done what you and I have done, and that is consistently lift or lift heavy for that many decades. I started, my first powerlifting meet was at 14, and you know me, I've never, and that's the funniest thing about, which is great about Golds, is that I've never lifted light, never wanted to, because I like the battle, and it's just a thing within me. I like heavy, I like lifting, but I've also tried to figure out how my joints have stayed so freaking healthy to where most guys you and I know that lift heavy have a maximum span of 10 years and they're done. Their shoulders, their backs, everything's blown out. So my question to you is rep range. And not rep range to be Lee Priest walking on stage at 24 at the Mr. Olympia. Not that rep range. Rep range that maybe would have got you there, but would have made you through the years to stay healthier if that was ever an issue. Elbows, shoulders, knees, back, anything like that.
Yeah, I never did power, because I know powerlifting, or you know, if you're going into powerlifting event, you're going for singles, and I know a lot of bodybuilders who go super heavy for singles or twos or threes. The minimum I ever did was 6 reps. I was never interested in going for a personal best, because to me, if I was going to powerlifting, sure, but as a bodybuilder, do I want to risk going for 1 and tearing a pec or tearing a quad or something? So I'd always, the lowest I'd go would be 6 reps, 6 to 8 for mass building on upper body. Legs,
but don't confuse
legs I trained with Tom.
But don't confuse these people, because you lifted 7 wheels on squats. You did 200-pound dumbbells on inclines. So when they're hitting you, you didn't do powerlifting. Trust me, everybody, this man lifted just as much weight as a powerlifter. He just did more reps.
And the thing is too, but I find, and I said, even doing legs, like, you know, you're trained with Tom Platts. We could go into the 50s up to 100 reps with Tom sometimes, just stupid amounts. And, you know, I was very instinctive too with weights and reps. I just went by how I feel. But I think, look, I've seen lots of your training videos, and the main key, I think, is too, you never use sloppy form. Neither did I. People watch my videos and go, these just like textbook a machine. I would go heavy, but every rep would still be nice and smooth. There was no jerking, there was no bending, there was no swinging. Everything I did was totally controlled. I wouldn't drop down and then bounce out. I wouldn't drop a bar and try bounce it up. Doing curls, when I curled the free plates, I just stood here. Because the weight was heavy, I just sort of had to lean back a bit to counterbalance it. But there was no swinging like this. It's like, and that's where I see now a lot of young kids, because, you know, Branch and them are trained a certain way, but then when Branch and them do videos, or Ronnie does videos, they've got all that muscle. So yes, they use bad form. They're jerking and this and that. But I've seen young kids, lightweight like Ronnie, and they're throwing the T-bar, jerking their backs like this. And you figure, you know, if you train like that, you're going to get problems. So I think form is you got to have great form. And like I said, yes, it's good to lift heavy weights, but why lift heavy weights if you're using your body to move it? You know, you want to use the muscle to use it. And like I said before, if you are going to cheat, like I said, if you're doing a barbell curl like this, if I got to here, I might just lean a little bit just to curl it up, but I'm not swinging it. I said, if you're going to cheat, I always said, just cheat a little to add stress to the muscle, not take it away, because we could all lift heavy weights and just throw it around and go, look at me, look at all the weight on, but you're just moving it by momentum. You're not really, you know, the muscle's not really contracting and you're not feeling it. So it's crazy. But I'm sure, like, when I did the 7 plates, I still did it controlled, but yet if I was to go 5 plates and really squeeze my quads, I feel the 5 plates more. It's like sometimes on a leg press, we could load that thing up, but you're more focused on, I don't want this fucker to squash me, so you're just concentrating on pushing it. If I halve that, then I'm more focused on squeezing the quad, contracting the quad. I get more of a burn and pump on generally a lighter weight because I'm more into the muscle. I'm thinking about the muscle. I'm not thinking about, fuck, just push this up so it doesn't kill me. So
I love that you're an echo of what I've been saying, and I love that because of the fact that I stopped powerlifting in my early 20s because I powerlifted for about a decade. But when I got Gladiators the first time, I realized that strength didn't translate.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, that pissed me off, you know, and I'm like, I got rid of the belts, the knee wraps, the sleeves. I slowed it down. I said, there's no reason to move fast through the exercise because then it's just momentum and that speed that's lifting it. And it's not like what you did when you were squatting or using the 200-pound dumbbells. And I love that we all did those 200-pound dumbbells because that was like a measuring that we all had fun between. Talking smack. How many are you going to get? How many are you going to get? And then Chris would go, or Flex and you. And
I remember the first time I come to Gold's almost, then my friend Kurt, he's like, oh, there's Billy Smith and Jim Quinn were in the gym, you know, because they were always going heavy crazy. And he goes, I'll introduce you to him. I went down there and they just went, oh, hi. And they blew me off. And it was a week later. I was there doing chest down the far end with the big dumbbells, and I'm just squeezing. I had the 180s at the time. I'm just repping them out nice and slow. I put them down. Then they both walked over and go, wow, that's impressive. So from that point on, they talked to me. It was almost like I had to earn their respect before they would talk to me.
So if you guys don't know who Billy Smith or Jim Quinn was, Billy Smith was Thunder with me on American Gladiators, but he was also a top-ranked national competitor. And Jim Quinn was actually played fullback for the Jets. But these guys both were 6'2", 6'3", 300-pound monsters.
Crazy strong.
These guys were about 285-pound monsters, but both lifted tremendous. We used to on the leg press, we would stack the leg press and then take an Olympic bar and stack those on top to put more 45s on.
And then sometimes I'd see Billy sitting on top of that.
Yeah. So these guys were massive. And I love the fact that you picked up the same dumbbells that they were trying to use and you rep it like that. Talking
and
about,
I said, once I did that, I earned their respect from that day on. So they'd always talk to me, how you going, Lee, and this and that. So for the first time, it was just like, oh, who's this little prick from Australia? Piss off.
You saw that the video of him posing, the one you showed me? I'd like them to see that. We're gonna see if we can throw this video up because I want the fans to see this. It shows the difference between that era and today. If he can make this happen.
Well, like I said, I know you bow it off, but like I said, it just annoys me when, you know, people say to me the drugs and that, but I know you get a lot more because when you say, oh, look, I'm natural, I've been natural my whole life, people go, oh, fuck off. It's like, do these people understand if they did half of what you did, even 15, 10 years of consistency. And I mean consistent. It's not like you said, you go hard for a month or two, then you take a couple of weeks. I mean, it's like week after week after week, day after day, year after year, eating, training, eating, training. Even when I go on holidays, I'd find the gym and train. There was no off time for me. And even now, I've been training like over 30, coming on 35 years. It's like, if I was to add up, you know, yeah, we travel the world. So maybe, let's just say you're traveling for a day, you can't get to a gym, or I've been sick and I've had to go to hospital for an operation. And then even then when I had this arm in a sling for 3 months, I still trained this side. I was doing legs every day. I just couldn't move this arm. So I still did it. The doctor said, take a month off. I think I took 4 days off and I'm back in the gym. It's like, if I add up, I was trying to work out the other day, just from traveling, being sick, or something's come up and I couldn't get to the gym over that 35 years, if I add up every day that I had off, it'd probably be 8 to 9 months total in that whole 35 years. If I add up every day that I couldn't get to the gym, or just from being sick or traveling around the world. So people don't understand, you know, 9 months out of 35 years, if you add up every day off, that's not much really. So it's like, you know, just got to have that consistency and do it all the time. That's why these people, I think they sell themselves short, because they could be a lot better themselves. They're looking for this out. They're looking for that shortcut, saying,
Yeah,
well, I could do it if I took drugs. You don't need drugs. Just use your fucking mindset. Get in the gym, bust your ass day after day after day. Don't, like I said, do it 1 week, then go, oh, I'm too tired this week. My legs are sore. I'm not going back and shit like that. You've got to go back and over again.
I would think shows like The Biggest Loser and stuff would show the world what is feasible if you just lock yourself down and put the effort in.
Yeah.
And so grab some photos then, if you can't do the video. And it didn't. I thought it would. I thought that would show. And it's like, the one thing that I love about, I have this Titan crew, and it's individuals that are like-minded, you know, that we understand we have to do the work. There's no coddling them. I tell it like it is. I put them on the plans. I say, this is what we're going to do. You're going to have this much time. And there's things that I won't let them do. If they've dieted too long or been in a deficit too long, I don't want them to hurt their bodies. So I'll bring them out of that. And, you know, but I'll push them. I'll push them as hard as you and I trained back in the day. And I tell these guys, you guys are training as hard as Olympian competitors. And they love it. And they love it. And they change. And I've got, you know, this, we've helped enough people to see guys going from 350 down to 200 pounds. It's like, it's cool to see that.
Yeah.
And it's cool to change their lives like that. And I wish more people would just listen to what you're saying about.
Well, I've always found too,
the drugs. It's lifting.
Yeah, and that's the thing. The first thing they got to change before they change their dieting, before they change their body, their training, the first thing they got to change is their mindset. Mindset is everything. If you don't have the right mindset, you're going to be stuck from the beginning. If you've got some bit of negativity when it comes to training, or you're thinking this person's only looking that way because of drugs and shit, you're not going to go anywhere, because you're putting these limitations on yourself, these negative thoughts where, you know, you shouldn't have it there. It's like, if you're going to go into something, get your mind right. Think, okay, this is going to be hard. It's not going to be easy, because like we said, if it was easy, everyone would do it and everyone would be in shape and everyone would be looking great. But so it's going to be hard. But once you do get there, it's going to be worth it. You're going to feel better in yourself. And like I said, you don't have to go crazy. Like I said, a contest diet, totally different. But just for well-being, the average person wanting to feel good about themselves, maybe add years to their life, bring down their cholesterol, lose kilos off themselves. You know, there's a lot of people out there who have got children who can't experience all the great things with their children of, because they're too overweight. They just don't have the energy. So they're tired and run down and stuff like that. Just changing your life will change everything. It just make you happier all around. And yes, I know I'm not coming down on overweight, but there are some overweight people who, if you ran their bloods and that, they are healthy. I've got friends that are overweight and they could probably outrun me because they're still athletic. But, you know, I'm talking about the ones that get the obesity side, the morbidly obese. And, you know, it's sad now that, like I said, because some overweight people can be healthy, but then the majority of them, a lot of them aren't healthy. A lot of them, like I said, they're insides, their blood work's not good. They just sit around and stuff. But yet, so sadly now society, if you mention that, you're fat shaming, you're this, you're that. It's like, you know, healthy people. I remember I used to see anyone in shape, and I'd see overweight people look at healthy people and be like, I said, I think healthy people in shape, actually get shamed more than what overweight people do, because I'd see somebody overweight. To me, if you're happy, you're happy. It doesn't bother me. But yet they would say shit about me because I'm in shape and stuff. They'd be like, oh, that looks disgusting, or that's terrible, or steroids, or this or that. Like, I can't walk past you and go, oh, fucking pizza, go have some more Kentucky, or you're fat shaming. It's like, well, why can you say shit about me because I'm in shape? It's like,
Yeah.